Alright guys, so we're going to do the tier list for Legion. I'll be addressing classes, as well as compositions and races. Now these are going to be for Legion at 110. Starting off we have God tier, right? So this is going to be the best classes, no particular order. These are classes that are going to be played at tournaments, specs that are going to be played at tournaments, as well as classes and specs that can achieve rank 1 very easily. So first up we've got, I think Arms Warriors are certainly in God tier. We've got Shadow Priest. We have, this is going to be DPS as well. It's DPS, we have Shadow Priest, we have Windwalker Monk, we have Outlaw, Sub. I think all three specs right now can be utilized. Unholy / Frost DK, Fire Mage. I don't think Warlocks will be. I think this is basically what God tier is going to be in Legion. After that we have rank 1 viable first tier. We'll do healers later. Rank 1 viable first tier. I mean, in this tier we've got BM / MM Hunter. They're okay. I think you can get away with it. Feral, probably Frost Mage. I don't think Fury Warrior will be rank 1 viable. Demon Hunter is in this bracket for sure. Enhance is in this bracket for sure. Elemental, possibly. I don't think Rets will be. Locks, yeah, Affliction Lock will be. Affliction Warlock will be rank 1 viable, and then we've got like needs buffing, not very viable. Demo, Destro Lock, Ret Pally, Survival Hunter, Fury Warrior, Arcane Mage. Oh, Boomkin, yeah, Boomkin will be rank 1 viable. They're not too strong though, honestly. I mean, you can't get too much done with them, in my opinion. Yeah, this is gonna be for PvP, guys. PvP. Is that it? Am I missing any specs? I mean, obviously there's like the tank specs, but I think this is for the most part the tier list for DPS. Boomkin not strong, fuck off. It's not, dude. It's not like God tier at all. So this is basically it for DPS classes. Next up, we'll do healers next. So God tier in order. Healers. We've got Resto Shaman. Confident that they're the best. Holy Paladin is going to be next best. Third is going to be Resto Druid. Next is going to be... You know what? I'm actually going to give third... It's going to be tied between Mystery Monk and Resto Druid. Or Mystery Monk and Resto Druid. And then it's going to be Disc Priest. And then Holy Priest. I think that's all the healers, right? There's actually not that many healers. So this is going to be the healers. And then we've got, we'll do compositions in the same, well no, let's just make a separate one. First tier, rank 1 viable, I think will be Disc Priest and Holy Priest. They just need work on, they need work for sure. But that's about it for healers, because obviously there's not that many healers in the game. Next up we'll do compositions. Keep in mind, a lot of this is subject to change, guys. We'll see a lot of nerfs happen, so God tier comps that will be played at tourneys. We have Warrior, S-Priest, Pally, or no, probably Resto Shaman. Then we've got Fire Mage, Rogue, Druid. I think Warrior, Fire Mage, Druid, Pally, or Shaman. See, for the most part, all of these compositions can be played with any of the healers. Honestly, it just depends on like what they're going up against. So this is going to be comps that you can run at tournaments for sure. Up next we've got, I think DK Rogue will actually be really strong from what I just saw, potentially. You know, I don't want to put that in God tier though. What else did I have in God tier actually? Let me check my Twitter real quick. I had an old tier list. I'm kind of like, it's late in the night, so I'm trying to get this figured out for you guys, but bear with me for a second. Alright, so, and then what else do we got here? Oh yeah, totally. So we've got Shadow Priest Rogue. It doesn't really matter the Rogue spec. I think Subtlety is probably going to be the best for control though. S-Priest Rogue, once again, Pally, Sham, Druid. I think most healers can be interchangeable at that level of play. Paladin might be a little bit weaker versus some compositions, but at the same time, each healer brings their own strengths and weaknesses to the comp. So, like, I think just the top 3 tier healers can be interchanged through most of these comps. We've got an interesting one would be Fire Mage, Windwalker Monk, Pally, Sham, Druid, and I think that's about it, honestly. I don't think there's too many like god tier comps. This is just from what I've seen to be very, very strong comps that could probably be run at tournaments. Now, rank 1 viable comps, there's a shitload, honestly. You could run most of the classes in either the god tier or rank 1 viable brackets, and you could put that into a team composition, and probably like it'll be a pretty good team. So, I mean, for example, we've got most cleave teams. So, I'm just gonna do it just straight up like that. So, Warrior, X, Healer. An example: Warrior Enhance, Warrior Rogue, Warrior Enhance, Warrior Rogue, Warrior DK, and Warrior Windwalker. All those comps will work for cleave comps. I can't forget about Warrior and Warrior Demon Hunter. So all those cleave comps will certainly work towards getting rank 1. I think even Warrior BM Hunter could work. Even Warrior Marksman Hunter. You'll probably be able to push rank 1. Maybe not MM. But with those comps, like you could get to rank 1. It'll be a little bit harder. The lower you go on the tier bracket. So if you're Warrior and you pair yourself with a BM Hunter, it'll be a little bit harder than say if you paired yourself with a Rogue or a Windwalker Monk. Other comps that are probably viable. I mean, most of the god tier comps that are going to be played at tournaments, those are probably going to be rank 1 viable as well. WLS will be rank 1 viable if they're all orc. I think it's easier to farm ladder that way, kind of. DK Walking Dead will be rank 1 viable, I think, too. Resto Druid. So I think Windwalker S-Priest Healer will probably be rank 1 viable. I just think like Legion's gonna be in a state where it's like you can pretty much run any comp you want, and push very high ratings, since that's just gonna be the pace of the game. A lot of classes have good synergy with each other. Shadow play could be okay. Affliction, Boomy, Resto, Shami. I just, a lot of comps are gonna be rank 1 viable, but like I don't want to put comps that are like iffy up here. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, Boomy Affliction Lock could probably be decent, but then again, it'll probably get smashed. We could do Boomy. We could do Boomy Afflict. I mean, LSD3 will be good again. No, LSD3 won't. KFC is here. KFC is just considered a cleave team for me. Ret is not going to be viable. I'm sorry, it definitely needs buffing right now. It's in this tier list of needs buffing and not very viable. That's what they're going to be right now. Yeah, honestly, Prot is better than Ret right now. Jungle Cleave, will it be rank 1 viable? I don't think so. Jungle Cleave doesn't feel that strong, so Gladiator. I mean, obviously, like, if you get really good players, you could probably push any composition to rank 1. Shadowplay, what is that, DK Lock? Or DK, why isn't Fire Mage S-Priest Healer on God tier comps, broski? Oh, did I skip that? Yeah. Totally, dude. Fire Mage, S-Priest, Pally, Sham, Druid. Definitely top tier. That will definitely be played at a comp, I think. TSG will be alright. I don't think it'll be too good. No, LA Shamans aren't too good. TSG is good. It's not, like, super top tier, but it's good. I'd say top tier comps for Warriors, like very god tier level, is going to be Warrior Fire Mage and Warrior Shadow Priest. Warrior DK could possibly be up there, but you don't have too much utility. Yeah, Holy Paladin will be good. Holy Paladin will be very good. So those are all the rank 1 viable comps for the most part. Gladiator viable, pretty much just throw any compositions you want together. For example, I mean, you could probably push it as like Jungle Cleave. Well, you'd easily get Gladiator as Jungle Cleave if you're good, if you're a good player. Warrior Enhance is considered a cleave team right up here in the rank 1 viable. It's right here, Warrior Enhance. We'll split it up. Warrior Enhance, Warrior Rogue, Warrior DK, Warrior Windwalker, Warrior DH, and Warrior BM Hunter. Double Warrior could possibly be rank 1 viable as well, honestly. You could probably get people easily with it. And then, I don't even know what else could be Gladiator viable. There's like, not too many comps. I mean, like double Fire Mage is actually probably rank 1 viable. Or, yeah, let's put up here, double Fire Mage. Well, that's not even necessary. But yeah, I mean, that basically sums up the compositions that are going to be, like, good going into Legion. Now, once again, all this is subject to change. There's still a lot of tuning that needs to be done for classes, especially in these classes that need buffing and are not very viable. Like, Demo Destrolock, very in a terrible position right now. Ret Pally's terrible position. Survival Hunter, mediocre at best. Fury Warrior, not even playable in PvP. And Arcane Mages, like they all definitely need a lot of work. Warrior Lock Druid could potentially be good. I mean, if Affliction gets buffed, then yes, it will be. However, I'm not gonna put Warrior Lock Druid in the rank 1 viable because Warlocks are so bad right now. So up next we've got races. I mean, this will be pretty simple. For races, we'll go with Horde here. That would probably be, it's going to be between Orc and Belf. It's going to be those are what the top tier players are going to. Now, if you could properly use Warstomp, yes, Warstomp's going to be good. Or I guess we could do races DPS. But it splits up a lot because like Orc, Belf, they're going to be good for both casters and melee. It's just an aggressive race that you could pick. Belf, that is. Arcane Torrent is just really good for landing kills. Next, I would honestly give it to Troll Tauren. Third, we have... I mean, what other races are there even on Horde? Orc, Blood Elf, Troll, Tauren, Goblin? Is that it? And Undead? Goblin, Undead? Best race for Shadow Priest is going to be Troll, I believe. Yeah, so Undead, Goblin. And then we've got races... Alliance, if you guys are still Alliance. One is going to be Human, pretty sure. Gnome, if you are Warrior, absolutely, without a doubt. Oh, Panda, yeah, Pandas. And then next for races, I mean, like Night Elf is still pretty good, obviously. Night Elf / Dwarf, Draenei, and Draenei. Panda, Pavda. I knew you guys would get me for that one. What race am I missing on Alliance, actually? Human, Night Elf, Dwarf. Oh, Gnome's up there. So, I mean, Gnome is actually up there if you're a melee class, for sure. And if you see yourself struggling with roots, Gnome is a really good race. But, I mean, that basically sums up all the tier lists for Legion. I mean, this is just my opinion, guys. Oh, Worgen. Yeah, Worgen's terrible. I mean, I would even make like a new bracket for Worgen. So yeah, this is basically the tier list, guys. This is all very, very subject to change. It's still like, you know, Legion is going to be released on August 30th, but then we've got another month before the season even starts. And, you know, once that starts, then more tuning will happen. So it's all very subject to change. But this, for the most part, is the tier list. That's pretty much it, guys.